大德圣听，为是法非悉一切众生，今转妙法人教导我们，如何了生脱死离苦得乐，殊胜无生。With the Sangha, we great virtue our compassion for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach us how to live suffering and attend bliss and birth and death, and quickly realize number.
南无萨旦陀斯切多耶阿拉诃帝三藐三菩提舍。
南无萨旦陀
斯切多耶阿拉诃帝三藐三菩提舍。南无萨旦陀斯切多耶阿拉诃帝三藐三菩提舍。
南无萨旦陀斯切多耶阿拉诃帝
三藐三菩提舍。再一遍啊！南无萨旦陀斯切多耶阿拉诃帝三藐三菩提舍。
南无萨旦陀斯切多耶阿拉诃帝
三藐三菩提舍。好，我们开经句，大家一起念中文跟英文。好，无上甚深微妙法，百千万劫难遭遇。我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。English, the unsurpassed, deep and profound Sutra, wonderful Dharma, in 100,000 million years is difficult to account. Now that I have come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to that the Takam one true and actually meaning. Okay. 好诸佛菩萨、神通上人在座的金河法师以及各位善知识，大家晚安。我们今天是11月3号，星期六，在Berkeley这边，我们继续来研究无量寿经，这个算是我们非常重要的一个经典，因为无量寿经它是讲阿弥陀佛的48愿，以及以后他怎么样告诉我们来修成佛的一个过程。
Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Master Hua, Dharma Masters present today, and all you good knowing advisors, we gather here today, which is November the 3rd, 2018, again to study the Sutra of Infinite Life, a very important sutra because it expounds on the life story of Amitabha Buddha.
好，石法师跟我们两位净传师跟净伟师，他们明天就回来美国，他们就是去厦门福田那边 在开论坛，佛教的论坛。
Dharma Master Shi and two monastics are going to be returning tomorrow. They have been at a Buddhism forum at the city of Xiamen in Fujian, China. 福田，
福建没有错。OK， 我们还有今天我们是礼拜六，有那个三藩市的 library 那边有仙公上人的一个图片展览，今天是DRBU 他们去做翻译的。
Of course, today, Saturday, we continue with our commemorative exhibit and lecture series at the San Francisco Main Library. It's been going on, and today there were quite a number of lectures.
好，我们上次就是上星期六，我们讲完了佛陀他的出生，就是摩耶夫人在兰比尼园在右胁的地方，佛陀诞生了，然后他诞生下来以后走了7步。然后他也讲话说：“我将是这个世界上最上尊贵的人。”这样子，然后我们今天我们会继续讲，就是他出生以后的变成说，在小孩子童年一直到青少年，就是 teenage 的这个阶段生活。以及他们的所实现的学习各种表现。
Last Saturday we covered the Buddha's birth. We spoke about Queen Maya, how she, on her way to her own family's palace, passing by the Lumbini Garden, and that's where the Buddha was born, from her right side of her torso. And upon birth, the Buddha took 7 steps and proclaimed that he shall be the most noble and revered of human beings. Today, we shall continue with the story regarding the Buddha's growing up, covering his teenage years.
好这个经文是在第4页，英文第5页，第4页的最后2行，我们先读一下，等一下也要读英文 ，OK。
So it's page 4, the last 2 lines, and we're going to recite them together.
好，请大家合掌一下。我们第一次讲念经文，我们要合掌。好，我们一起念好了一起念，可以看这个拼音，不懂中文的可以看拼音。第4页。好，视线、算计、文艺、色欲、博中道术、观念情记，由于后缘讲武释义，现处宫中社会之间。好，英文。 each of
the Bodhisattva. Each of these bodhisattvas has complete mastery of mathematics, literature, art, archery, charioteering, and governance. In the courtyard behind the palace, they spend their time playing, practicing martial arts, and testing their abilities. In the palace, they are surrounded by sensuality and beauty.
好，我们将这个经文的这个视线计算，文艺社艺、佛中道士、观念群记这个视线就是他所就是这一生所示范出来的、表现出来的各种，依照这个慧眼大师，就是他有著这个《无量寿经》的这个注释里面讲，他这个视线就是一种它是随画来表现，跟着这个我们的一般的这个来，好像开始这样子来学习各种表现，所以其实佛他已经很久他就已经知道，因为过去生的这个佛陀，他经过三大劫的修行，其实他们佛陀他本身都是知道的。
This part of the sutra spoke about the Buddha's manifestation of various abilities. In the explanation given by Great Master Huiyuan, the Great Master mentioned that the fact that the Buddha manifests all these abilities, including attainment in literature, in arts, etc., these actually were things the Buddha, even before birth, already have mastered. But as part of the demonstration of the path to Buddhahood, he manifested these high abilities, and as part of the teaching.
像视线算计算当然就是算书那计就是要筹计一下，去想一想，然后其实这个也是计算的一种。像我们现在的计算都是大部分都用计算机，计算机就很简单。那以前的计算，像我们以前还有算盘的计算，算盘加1+1，各方面的算盘的计算。然后我们也念过99乘法，我不知道你们有没有背过99乘法？这个都是要的。我们以前就是这个讲算式。
So in terms of these abilities, the mastery of various learning, the first one being mathematics. Mathematics includes the basics of calculation, and also more complex planning and a higher level of calculation. And today, of course, we have computers that perform very complex operations to derive answers from very complicated phenomena. And in the past, of course, in China we have tools such as the abacus, or simple tools such as the multiplication table. these are all tools to help us perform these complicated calculations.
还有对于像我们国小就是念加减乘除，然后初中念算几何，还有高中要念三角，大学念微积分，这个都是计算的一些。还有更有趣的就是，我们也小的时候也学过，把鸡跟兔子一个2个角，一个4个角放在一笼子里面，然后叫你要怎么去算出来，要很快的算出来。这个是我想这个是算术一种，这叫做鸡兔同笼，有这种名词。我不知道现在美国这边是怎么样子的教数学，可能这边美国数学是很差的。
So when I was in Taiwan, of course, in primary school, we learned arithmetic. In middle school, we learned things like geometry, and high school, we learn algebra, and of course, in college, we learn calculus, and throughout, there are a lot of different methods used, and one of them involve 鸡，小鸡。你说是小鸡还是小兔？
鸡兔同笼，放在一起，一个2个角，一个4角，怎么去算？要算得很快出来。
So in Taiwan, they were very inventive, and they used little chicks and little rabbits, and one has 2 legs, one kind of 4 legs, and to teach kids how to count. Probably not here in the U.S.
还有一个就是说，一个比较有趣的，好像是说一个3只小鸟停在电线杆，然后有一个人开枪，嘣一下子，那打了一只，那剩下几只？你们大家大概会猜，剩下几只？打1只、3只，打1只，剩下2只嘛？其实他一听到声音就全部飞走了，就等于0了。所以这个也是一个不定法的一个给大家动脑筋的方式。
3只电线
，3只小鸟停在电线上，然后一个人拿枪打了1只，嘣一声打了一只，那是不是剩下还有2只？但是有一个问题，这个嘣一声以后，是不是那个2只就吓跑了？所以等于电线杆上面根本就是没有了。
There's also teaching a little bit of out of the box thinking, and one of the topic was if there were 3 little birds perching on a cable, and a person shoots one of the 3. What is the result? And some people thought that okay, 1 dies and 2 left, but a more practical answer could be that as soon as the sound of the gun, at the sound of the gun, all 3 birds would fly away, and then you don't have any. So that's the kind of intelligent and IQ type test that we went through.
OK， 好，我们现在我们在讲这个文艺，据上我们讲文艺，文就是文章写成文章方面，像书本这些都是要用文字来表现，所以这个很重要。然后艺就是记忆，它有能够表现文字出来的一个记忆，像这个就是一个，能够像这个文里面有文，对不对哈？这个文字就是写中文，文字在里面，然后你可以表现，你可以做成这个各式的一个方法，把它贴起来，这样这个就是艺，所以这个就是文艺的一个意思，所以这个有表现，有美 在，然后有达到目的，就是一个文艺的重要。
For literature, of course, literature, the basic element is a character, a word, and then when you put all the words together to form a something that has meaning, then the words becomes useful to express what we're trying to say. So that's the foundation for learning literature.
还有一个，我们 VBM 比较重要，我们也在学习文艺。当然像佛陀的时代，他小的时候都是要学习，怎么写文，写成文字啊。可能他们不是写中文的，写那个梵文啊，或者其他的文，所以这个他都会懂的。你说他懂不懂中文？应该是懂。然后像我们 VBM 里面，我们有中文班，有写字班，这个就是一个写字班。这个就是一个这个我们总共有20几个人在写字，那这个是一个看你的一个作品，所以这个算我们学习文字的一种。然后这个也是表示一种文字美，他写得好的话，就可以，这个是很重要的一个学习。在过程，在每一个人成长，你不管学中文、英文，都是要必经的过程。
So as the Buddha was growing up, he went through this kind of study, learning various kinds of languages, including, of course, Sanskrit. He may even know Chinese. So here in the monastery, we do the same thing. We teach kids calligraphy, starting with words and progressing to sentences, essays. Within literature, of course, not only meaning is expressed, there's also beauty that's within the composition. All these is a very important part of a person's growing up and a person's study, whether it is in English or Sanskrit or Chinese.
像文艺方面也是包括像文艺小说，我们武侠小说，我们小时候都有去看过，像古龙啊，或者金庸啊，这些小说都很有头脑，他们在写，他都依照历史来写，所以会很多人可以喜欢一些像金庸，他就是大学里面还有金庸他们的课，在美国里面也有，所以这个就是不简单的这个一些文艺作品。
Of course, a very important form of literature is storytelling, fiction. And in Chinese, a very unique form of fiction is martial art fiction. And the most prominent author for that genre, of course, is a man called Jin-Yong. His books, his fiction is the most well-known among Chinese, to the point that even in college, people study it because it's so engrossing and interesting. People just love that genre. And even now in America, I heard that in college, people are studying it. So that is one form of literature that can really attract people's attention.
还有像比较现代的，就是电视剧，这些都是算文艺的一种。电视啊，你去看电视的节目啊，还有像还有牵涉到像舞蹈，这个就是艺术的表现，这个都是可以我们要学习。当然，难的不一定也依照个人的喜好来学习，还有你的也是有你性方面的学习的不同。
So of course today now we have TV, drama and such. It's also another form of literature because it's based on stories, and then from literature a person can then learn art. For instance, dancing is an art form. Other art forms that exist, a person study them based on based on the person's liking.
所以像我们孔子时代古代也有6种要学习的，一个人都是要学习成长过程，一个要学习礼乐诗诗易春秋，这个6本书都是在古代孔子时代都是他推这样子的一个教育，每一个人都要学习，因为这个很重要。你学习了以后，对于社会各方面的贡献、成长都是非常有帮助的。
In China, of course, during the sage Confucius taught us that to be a complete person, one must master 6 kinds of arts. The art of etiquette, the art of music, calligraphy, poetry, charioteering, and calculation, mathematics. And these are all very important aspects to help a person grow up to be a complete being. And it's very beneficial.
好，文艺我们讲射御，射就是射击包括枪、舞刀、飞剑、飞刀，然后击剑，这些都是可以讲射。
One of these 6 arts, one of them is collectively called archery, but it actually has a broader meaning. It's not just mean archery. It generally mean weaponry, the mastery of weapons. That includes, of course, bows and arrow, including spears, the large cleavers, even daggers, and of course swords as well.
所以这个射当然那时候佛陀的时代是大概只有射箭，就是比较单纯那时候。那现在我们就不简单了，我们现在有很多电动玩具在打，棒棒棒棒棒，像这样子的一个射击，这个也是射的一种。还有拿手枪，这个都是一个要很注意的，尤其是在现在的时间，不可以尤其小孩子不可以拿枪的，这个包括你大人也是要有牌照才可以。
Of course, during the Buddhist time, being very ancient time period, maybe he only had archery as the most dominant form of weaponry. Of course, today weapons have developed into much more sophisticated forms, including guns, which of course is a tremendously destructive tool. And so kids definitely should not contemplate playing with something this horrendous. Even adults, we have to be very careful with them.
还有对色的话，讲到比较大的就是一种炮。像我当兵的时候，我们都要去学习这样子发炮。那个炮都是很大，可以打到几百公尺或者1000，不是公尺哦，是公里哦。那时候在金门，那时候都还向着大陆那边去打。我们打是不是真的打实弹，是打宣传弹，过去宣传台湾的好，这样子。
When I was in the military, compulsory military training, of course we learned how to use big cannons. They can shoot cannon shots to many hundreds of kilometers, and we use them to send propaganda canisters across the strait to mainland China to advertise the good of Taiwan versus the difficult conditions in China.
还有现在讲色的话，现在应该就是包括不只是在地面上的，现在包括火箭、太空，这些都是讲色，可以讲，所以非常不同时代，这个都是讲到色。
And of course, as I said, modern time sees tremendous expansion of this concept of archery to the point now we have weapons in the space, with missiles and such. It's a different time. It's a continual escalation of this particular art.
还有后面色欲就是你驾车，像这样我们现在都是每个人都要驾车，这个就是欲。古代的时候就很单纯，它大概是只有骑马，这个也是欲的一种，或者是马车，你在赶马车，用马车，你不管，还有牛车也一样的，你可以放1头牛、2头牛，很重的话都放几头牛的，所以这个都不同。马车也是一样，你可以放2只马、3只马，拐子马。那夜会的时候是拐子马，那这个所以这个都是欲的一种。
In terms of charioteering, again, there's a broader meaning. It means the ability, the art of steering and controlling a chariot or something similar to it, whether the chariots are drawn by horses, 1 or 2 or more of them, or even for heavy loads, buffaloes were used to drive, to pull these heavy carts during warfare.
所以这个欲的话，现在也是包括你开飞机，这个都是欲，所以这个都是要学习。像见不到太空船，这个都是欲，还有海上的一些船只，你不管是商业上的，这个都是要学习，这个都是叫欲。所以这个古时候的欲是蛮单纯的，大概就是只有马车。 所以这个不同。
And of course, again, expanding into modern time, charioteering now includes much more sophisticated vehicles, such as airplanes, warplanes, or even spaceships. And on water, of course, we have gunboats or even just commercial boats, commercial ships. These are all vessels that convey people or materials. It's just getting more complicated is all, compared to ancient time where we probably only had horses for pulling the carts.
好在色来讲佛陀时代啊，就是有一个，不然我们等一下讲好了，我们先继续把这几句讲完。博中道术，这个我们讲博就是一种博大非常广大的这个，中就是总和，博大综合的一个道法技术，这个道术，那这个就是包括出世法，还有世法、知识法，我们会继续来探讨这些。
So all these arts, the Buddha was able to learn them broadly, comprehensively, as well as mastering them. And all these arts actually also include skills and methodologies that are both world transcending and worldly, that can be used for day-to-day affairs.
像讲到要学习这些广大的这个道法的话，这个就是有包括像现在的哲学方面啦，或者医学啦、星象啦这些种种的这个都是包括，还有像符咒啊、收经有人就是用咒语，然后都是可以算八字啊、紫微斗数啊，这个都是算道术的一种。
So what are all these skills and methods and means? They include things that we know today, such as science, philosophy, astrology or astronomy, geography, politics, even including spells, including fortune telling, etc. All these kinds of skills that existed in the population that people use to conduct their day-to-day affairs.
所以像慧远大师他有在书上讲，像这一些博中道术来讲，都是可以通先通秘术，就是说你可以都要学习。所以我们现在的通仙的一些技术，我们是要成佛，我们要学习如何来修心养性，就是这样子来成佛这个方面的一些我们要来学习的，还有其他的一些外道，我们不必要去学习。
So Prince Siddhartha's study indeed was broad and deep, as Great Master Wei Yuan summarized that his learning was comprehensive and broad, and his understanding was deep, including immortal secret methods, secret spells. He was able to master all of them. And of course, in today, we normal people should concentrate on learning things that can help us cultivate our mind and to nurture our nature. We shall stay away from methods of the external ways that are not beneficial to us.
好，后面再讲观念群集，就是说你要好好去贯通来练习，不管你是世俗上的一些都要去通达，因为一些书籍都是可以通达的。然后像佛陀时代，他都那时候都四尾头经典都是也算群集之中的一些书籍，所以都是要去研究。
But the Buddha, of course, his study, as we mentioned, was so broad that it really included worldly and teaching of other spiritual traditions. He thoroughly understood them and penetrated them, including at the time already existed various Vedas, the classics of external ways. He was able to completely understand them.
像四吠头经里面，它就是4种的一些书啊，就是哪4种呢？第一个就是养生之法，这个叫做离忌舍吠，离忌吠头，另外一个第二个就是祭祀方面的一些诗词仪词，就是要这样子来祭祀。第3个就是也有讲到兵法。兵法的研究，这样子来用兵、调兵、养兵这些的兵法。第4个就是咒术的运用，就是这样子来详咒，就是这些都是他都要学习。其实这些佛陀都已经都学过的。
The 4 kinds of Vedas. First one is methods to nurture one's life. Second one is methods to how to govern. Governance has to do with how do you lead a country. The third one has to do with military methods, military methodologies and skills. And the last one being spells, secret spells that has special powers.
其实，在讲这一些的，从算计文艺一直受益各方面的道士各方面，其实就是在我们学习菩萨道，我们就是讲五明，就是我们要学习五明，就是算医明、声明、工巧明、阴明，还有内明，这个是五明。
Other than the Vedas taught by the Brahmins in India at the time, within Buddhism there are 5 kinds of skills that are very useful. The 5 illumination skills. First one being the skill of medicine, learning that one knows how to cure diseases. Second one being sound, illumination of sound. That means one understands literature, language, linguistic, that sort of thing. Third kind being work skills, skills that allows one to create things, create industry, and create industrial artifacts. The fourth kind has to do with logic, illumination of causes of things. And basically today we can look at that as physics, things that explains the makeup and the reason behind the physical world. And then finally the fifth one being internal illumination, and that has to do with religions and things of that nature.
其实像这个医名，它是应该是列入道术，就是刚才讲的这个道术里面。那这个医名就是医学，所以有现在的医学，我们都是讲，不只是我们自己医人，我们还包括动物。像现在都讲很多的把动物以前也有，很早就有像牛啊这样子来医啊，狗啊、猫啊那些都有。还有这个植物上也是，植物有时候哪一棵树病了，哪一棵树它叶子里面有一点一点的，这个都是生病，这个都是有人在研究，这个都是讲在医名方面。
Now, of course, in terms of medicine, the most expensive meaning of it not only include curing people's diseases, but also diseases of animals, such as birds, dogs, cats. A complete healing art must include animals as well. And then, of course, even expanding to plants. Plants, a person can look at the plants and see some spots and can figure that there's something wrong with the plant and must also know how to deal with that kind of problem and cure the plant's ailment.
第二个就是声明，声明就是语文上面的学习跟还有音乐的这些都是在讲声明就是要学习。
The second kind, illumination of sound, actually includes, like we mentioned, literature, but also music. They really belong to the same family, is an expression, a way to express oneself through language or through sound.
第三个就是工巧明，就是包括你所有学习工艺，还有现在都是很进步的这个电子产品，这个都是领域越来越大的。
In the skill regarding that includes industrial skills, and of course today we have a lot of electronic skills. These are all the kind of things that can create things to improve people's living.
好，第四个就是音明，就是像物理的研究啦，然后这个比较讲窄一点，就是基因的研究，还有能量的这个来研究，这个都是音明。
And the fourth kind, illumination and causation, not only include physics, but all the forms of sciences, such as the study of genes, study of energy, how to create energy. All such skills belong to this particular branch of study.
好，第五个就是内明，就是包括我们自己每一个人的一些修心养性 就是比较主宗教，还有启蒙学，就是小孩子刚开始的这个，所以这些总共5名，就是我们讲对于一个修行人都可以要学习的，所以这些其实在佛陀的时候他都很了解明白。
So the fifth one being illumination of one's inner self, internal illumination, and as we said, it includes religion, and it includes the very earliest form of teaching to a kid as a kid is growing up, the very initial kind of training and learning to make sure the kid starts off on the right path. These are all the kind of spiritual development that cultivators must pay attention to, so that we can regulate our mind and bring up our nature. And these are all very important for us to become a good person.
好，我们再讲一下，就是佛陀那时候出生以后，就是叫做悉达多太子，然后在释迦谱里面，他记载这样子，那个佛陀就是悉达多太子7岁的时候，他父亲就是净饭王嘛，他想说这个小孩子已经长大了，要开始长大，就是要给他学习书，哪一种书籍对他学习有帮助，所以他就去找了这个刚好这个国家里面的一个婆罗门的一个老师来教这个太子。然后这个婆罗门的这个老师呢，他就用49种的这个书本，总共49种来教。然后这个太子他看了以后他有疑问，他就问老师。
So those are the kind of subjects, both worldly and world transcending, that Prince Siddhartha studied as he was growing up. In fact, when he was 7-year-old, this all started when he was 7 years old. That's when the emperor, the king, says, this is about time that I should start the Buddhist study. So he gathered together all the bright Brahmins in the country who were all very learned and understood all the books, and asked them to be the teacher for Prince Siddhartha. At that time, there was a very, very respected Brahmin who understood and mastered 49 kinds of books. And so those were the subjects that he taught the prince. The prince at the time then asked his teacher, "What kind of book is this? In our world, in this southern sector of world, Jimpa Vipa, actually, how many kinds of books exist in our world system?" That's when the teacher was at pretty much his wit's ends. He didn't know.
好，然后那个他就问他总共有多少书，然后这个老师没有答出来，他不知道，然后后来这个佛陀又跟他问，因为他是要当老师嘛，所以他就跟他问这个阿日的什么意思？这个老师也答不出来，所以这个老师就觉得非常惭愧，然后就起来因为他只有7岁啊，这个小孩子这个太子，所以他就赶快起来，他说他不知道，这个就跟这个太子行来做礼拜，然后就也做礼拜说他不知道，然后就请这个太子跟他说明。
Not only was the teacher kind of stumped at the question of how many books exist in the world, the prince also asked him, "What is the meaning of the syllable 'ah'?" Well, that also stumped him, and he was very a bit of taken aback and a bit ashamed, and was kind of stunned at how this prince was able to ask something this profound. And he actually got up and instead of being his teacher, he bowed to the prince.
好，那这个就跟那个他请佛陀跟他解释，佛陀这个太子就跟他解释了。这个圆弧体啊，圆弧体的书啊，总共有是64种，因为这个婆罗门那时候他只有讲49，他说总共有64种，这个是昨天晚上给你，然后这个他这个书里面呢，圆弧体有包括这个梵书，就是就是梵音的梵音书，还有切罗书，还有莲花书，总共。然后这个阿的意思呢，也是梵音，它是梵音，它这个意思啊是不可坏，它的意思是不可坏。然后真正它是无上真正的道义，有这个无上真正的道义。所以他这个是无量无边，他的意思是无量无边。然后他跟他解释了以后，婆罗门就非常的惭愧，这个老师，然后就去跟他的父亲净饭王讲，然后说太子是连天中第一的老师，所以我是真的是他没有办法教。
So the prince then relate to the teacher and says, in Jambavipar, this world system of ours, there are Brahmin books, there are books written in Kharostes, an ancient language, and there are books written in the Lotus language. Altogether, there are 64 kinds of books. Also, the syllable, the sound ah, actually is a Brahmin sound. Its meaning is that it's indestructible. It also means unsurpassed, true meaning. And its meaning also is unimaginable. At that point, after the prince's explanation, the Brahmin teacher became even more ashamed. And he went back to the king and expressed to the king that the prince is actually the foremost teacher for heaven and humans. Therefore, there really is no reason for me to be appointed his teacher.
所以，假如大家要知道这个阿的真正意思，大家可以去看《华严经》，入法界品，这个善财童子的里面有一个老师，就是众义童子来教，他有解释这个阿，因为这个阿其实他讲这个42个日母的这个意思。阿是第一个，排在第一个的这个阿字，它的意思呢，就是普愿法界的众生呢，能够入波罗蜜门，希望说在这个大家都能够入这个门，这个入门，因为这个你了解这个阿，你唱这个阿的时候，功德多。法界都是蒙在恩波中，四圣九有都是同登法藏贤门，八难三途都可以入比如性海的这个，所以这个阿字非常重要。
So if you really want to understand this, the deep meaning of this sound "ah," you can study the chapter on entering the Dharma realm of the Avatamsaka Sutra. In this chapter, an assembly of youth taught the youth great wealth, good wealth, the meaning of this sound "ah." It is the first syllable of the 42 Avatamsaka syllables. Very important, being the first one. The second syllable is the syllable "to." Third one is "bo." But when one sing the syllable "ah," one contemplate that one brings out the great vow, the universal vow that all living beings in the Dharma realm enters the prajna paramita door. And when you recite all three of them, "adobo," it's the entire Dharma realm would then be bathed in blessing. And the four kinds of birth, beings from four kinds of birth and the 9 existence, all can then ascend to the secret door of the Avatamsaka. And beings going through the 8 kinds of difficulties and beings in the 3 evil paths all can then enter the nature, ocean nature of Varanchana Buddha.
好，这个悉达都慢慢长成，就是少年期、teenage 期，慢慢要进入16岁以后，我们会现在要开始讲他少年期的一些比武，因为这个在王家的弟子里面呢，他是在当时也有500个一起出生的他们释家族的这个一些弟子来互相，因为大家都一起，包括你像南头啊、难头啊，或者是提婆达多那些，还有那个就是陈教主他们，那些都是算释家族的人，然后他们都常常会举行来比赛，这样子。那像大家都知道说这个那时候的佛陀他是非常优越的。Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that is the same thing. Yeah. Yeah.
So as the Buddha, as Prince Siddhartha continued to grow as a person during his teenage years, he was one of about 500 youths of similar age, and they study and compete amongst themselves, and they often compete in all the subjects, including intelligence, and also physical activities of all sorts, including archery and such, martial arts, and of course the prince excelled in all the subjects and all the competition.
像有一次比赛，他们比赛这个射箭啊，那一般的人一般的一些王子，他们只有射穿过3个鼓，就是你射的话，就是它里面有在前面你要射中目标，它只能够穿过3个鼓，然后这个太子呢，他就一箭，他能够射穿7个鼓，就是一下子就穿过7个，所以是不同凡响的。
Prince Siddhartha was endowed with tremendous physical strength and skill. For instance, during one of the archery competition, whereas the other young men were able to shoot through, with one arrow shoot through 3 drums. Prince Siddhartha was able to shoot through 7 drums, demonstrating his extraordinary strength and accuracy.
所以这个慢慢的这个国王，也就是净饭王，他也注意到悉达多长大了，开始打算给他选妻子，给他选太太，然后父王这个就招了国内的年轻人，然后大家都聚在这个后花园里面来相比，来比赛，看谁 得到的，就可以起这个那时候起一个邻国的就是算善觉王，是天臂城善觉王的一个女儿。她这个女孩子是耶输陀罗，是长得非常美丽。然后就净法王就派人去讲，那这个国王他说就是要前往求亲的话，就是必须要能够技能过人，就是你的表现技艺都要比人家好，才可以得到我的这个小女为妻。他有这个条件，然后他们比了以后，真的是太子得到比其他人都好，所以就起了这个耶输陀罗。
As the prince continued to grow, King Suddhodana, his father, figured that it's about time he established his own family, get married. And at the time, the neighboring kingdom had a well-known beauty, known by all, very desirable young woman. And so a competition was set up to see who excelled, who was the foremost in both skills and ability. And then that person would then be eligible to marry this extraordinary young woman, Yasodhara.
所以在经文上就是由于后言讲武释义，所以就是在后花园大家的比赛。然后后面这个经文是讲现处宫中受位之间，像这一些的后面就是讲到这个在当时的一个皇宫的一些情况。所以这个也是在悉达多成年16岁之后，那时候16岁就成年了。现在我们美国这边应该是多少？17岁，应该是17岁或者18岁，18哈。
So this is a time period in the Buddhist life as a prince where he was immersed in sensuality and beauty within the palace. And this is a manifestation of his going along with the worldly Dharma. And in the ancient time, when a person becomes 16, that's considered adulthood. And of course today is more like 18. But in any case, 16 was when that was the time for a man to marry.
所以在经上就这样子记载，他总共他是16岁以后他娶了3个妃子，就娶了3个太太，就是然后那个国王也是跟他建立了3个就是皇宫，那第一宫就是那耶输陀罗，然后第2宫就是那摩努陀罗，第3宫就是那俱多弥陀罗。所以这个就是因为国王是怕他出家，就是尽量给他能够快乐。能够在宫中，所以跟他建造了3个皇宫。
When marriage was arranged, there were actually 3 women that became Prince Siddhartha's wives. The first one, of course, is Yashodhara, the queen, the queen to be. Then the two other ones, and to ensure that this group of young people enjoy opulence of palatial life, the king also built 3 palaces for these 3 beautiful women. And he did all of that was because he saw the tendency of Prince Siddhartha appearing to want to abandon the palatial life, leaving home. So he was greatly afraid, and he wanted to tie him down with worldly pleasures.
像耶稣陀罗，他是最年轻、最小的，他是16岁，跟太子是同年龄的，他是刚才我们讲过天臂城的善觉王的女儿，就是公主，然后即使讲起来，她是算佛陀的表妹。
Yashodhara, the queen to be, was the youngest of 3 women, also 16, same age as Prince Siddhartha. She was, of course, the princess of a neighboring kingdom, King Good Enlightenment of the Heavenly Arm city. In relationship, Yashodhara actually was a cousin of Prince Siddhartha.
好，另外我们就是讲这个经文的现处宫中，刚才我们讲过了，现在就是受位之间，因为这个就是受位，就是包括男女的饮食，各方面的生活，就是一切的因为我们一般的人都是饮食来存活下来，然后这个淫欲是正性命，就是说好像是理所当然的，这个就是一般的人，但是这个在太子来讲，其实他这个是都过来人。所以他对于这个对于这样子的一个人间的生活的方式，都只是一个视线而已，就是跟着人家结婚，他就跟着结婚，就一种视线而已。其实他真正的他都了解到这些，因为他以前有修过净恒，一直来才有这样子的一个算能够成佛果的。
So, amongst forms, beautiful forms and fine taste, that's the life of Prince Siddhartha and his court. This is, of course, the normal kind of life, the normal kinds of processes that all of us go through, involving relationship among men and women, including desirable food and drink. These are the kind of things that we rely on for our life, to establish our normal life. Everybody goes through that kind of stuff. On the other hand, Prince Siddhartha, this is more of a demonstration, a manifestation of also that he can live like normal people. He could also go through the same processes and situations like normal people do.
好，那佛陀的这个一些 经文上我们大概都差不多讲完了，然后下面我想分享一下，我们把仙光少年，因为今年是100冥诞的纪念，我把仙光少年时代的一些也把它来提出来，给大家分享一下。
So let's stop discussing that time, like the lifetime period of the Buddha. In closing, I would like to bring up some of the stories of the Venerable Master and he's growing up, this being the 100th birth year of the Master. We can also use his life as an example, as an illustration.
那仙光少年他小时候就是少年的时候，他也喜欢骑马，在他的那个书上都有写，他喜欢骑马，而且他喜欢还站在这个马背上，他不只是喜欢骑马，站起来站马背上，带着马这样子跑，所以这个是一种少年时期会这样子。
The master, when he was young, he was not only was he known to be a filial son, he was actually very active and very fun-loving. He loved equestrian art. He liked riding horses. In fact, he said one of his challenges was to be able to stand on top of a horse, a galloping horse. And that was a goal that he wanted to achieve.
还有他也上过学习的45经方面的，他只有学习过2年半而已，所以他后来他就没有这个2年半学习以后，他就开始去当义务老师，去教导小孩子来怎样子读书。
The master was also an extraordinary youth. He only went through 2.5 years of formal education, but he was such a quick learner that he was, right after that, he was able to become a volunteer teacher for other kids.
所以少年他也会艺术，他也有讲过药性物，所以大家可以去我们圣神上有书，大家假如说喜欢，你可以去看这个 Internet 上都有。还有他也研究过45经，还有道德经，他都非常精通。他讲法的时候都是常常拿45经来跟大家分享，道德经也是。讲老子的思想，这个都是把佛教做一个很好的基础，把这个基础打好，然后就你要再学习佛法就很快。
The master, even though the formal education was very short, was also broadly learned. He, for instance, was very well versed in Chinese medicine, thoroughly understanding the classic on the nature of all the herbs. His mastery of Chinese classics, the 4 books and the 5 classics, was such that he, as we know, he integrated those classics in his teaching, in his lectures. And also he understood Lao Tzu's the Tao Te Ching very well. These are all good base for one advancing to learning Buddhism.
我再花一点时间讲一个上人讲的一个故事，就是药性物里面一个故事。他说有一天阎罗王生病了，他派2个小鬼去请 医生来给阎罗王治病。那阎罗王他们这个小鬼，他要去请医生来，他不晓得哪一位是好，阎罗王就跟他说：“你去看啊，这个医生面前看到人，最少的人，就是灵魂啊，就是因为他们阎罗王他们就看灵魂嘛，看到灵魂最少的人，那这冤魂最少的人。”你就可以把他请来，因为他冤魂最少，因为医生门前很多都是冤枉死的，然后他就说你最少的就把他请来。
So I like to relate a funny story from the Venerable Master about healing, about curing diseases. One time, he said, the story went like this. One time, King Yama, the king of the underworld, sent a couple of little ghosts to get a doctor because King Yama was sick. So the little ghost said, well, how do I know which one is a good doctor? Please give me some instruction. King Yama said, well, you just go to a doctor's office and check to see how many complaining ghosts are there right outside of his door.
Yeah.
The one with the fewest number of complaining ghosts, that's a good doctor.
所以小鬼就遵命就去每一家去看，看了好多家都是好多几百人甚至于1000人的冤魂在那里，说就还我命来啊，你害死我了，还我命来，你害死我了。所以他这个两个小鬼又跑到别的家去看了也是同样的那一家也是好多还我命来，都只有几百人。到最后看到还有一家很少人，然后就把这个医生就请去给阎罗王治病。
So the little ghost went check on these doctors in town and was shocked that there's so many ghosts at the first doctor's door, crying, wailing, screaming, saying, "Doctor, you owe me a life. Please give me back my life." So the little ghost said, "Oh, let's get out of here." So they went to another doctor again, saw hundreds of ghosts and spirits wailing at the doctor. So on and on, they found one doctor that only have a few such ghosts complaining at the door. So they figure, okay, this has got to be the best doctor, and we shall ask him to come and cure King Yama.
所以这个医生他就来到这个阎罗王殿里面来看病。那阎罗王就问他说：“你当医生当多久了？”这个医生说：“我今天一大早才开门，就给人家治病。”然后阎罗王说：“阿弥陀佛，你今天才开始就有3个冤魂，哇，这个真是不可思议。”
So the doctor was led to the palace of the hall of King Yama. So King Yama checked him out, says, "Hey, how long you been a doctor?" And the doctor said, "Well, I have been a doctor ever since early this morning." So King Yama was shocked and he said, "Amitabha, you have only been curing people's disease since this morning, and there are already 3 ghosts at your door complaining. Wow, this is incredible.
所以上人讲啊，他说他也是一个医生，但是他也读过很多的药书，像药性物啦，还有脉诀啦，汤头沟啦，400味啦，81难经啦，伤寒论啦，杂心法啦，所以还有妇人科、小儿科他都总共有10几本、15本以上的药书，所以他不敢当医生，因为他是怕医死人，所以他后来想说，这个他不能当医生。
So the Venerable Master, of course, he said, I am actually kind of a doctor too, because I really spend a lot of time and effort studying all the classics, not only the verses on the nature of herbs. He studied the post-reading, formulation, all sorts of stuff, classics such as Shanghan. He actually understood how to cure all manners of ailments. And in all, he studied 15 kinds of medical books, classical Chinese medical books. But he said, I never wanted to be a real doctor because I'm worried about killing someone.
好，我们今天讲这个无量寿经就讲到这里，我们下一次就继续讲，因为我们结束了，就是结束天业集的这个年龄，这个太子，后面我们会讲他出家，一直去学习这样子的以后的生活。好，我们就今天讲到这里。好。
So this is it for today. Next time we're going to talk about the Buddha as he grew up and ending up leaving home.
有没有其他 any question 有没有？没有哈 ，OK， 那我们就回向。回向我们还是我们站起来回向，我们用中文式的回向。Okay, we invite everybody stand up. We use. Oh yeah. Okay. One announce. Tomorrow, Sunday, have in Buddha Hall we have deciding Amitabha name. That is the walking deciding Amitabha name from 7:30 to 4:30 afternoon. So welcome everybody join. Okay, and so that's it. Okay, yeah. We transmitting. We use Chinese way. Okay, yeah. Stand up. Yen yi shi gong de zhuang ye, Bo jing du sang bao shi zhong en, xia ji san tu ku, rou you jian wen zhe, xi hua pu ti xi, 今此一报身，同生极乐国。Okay, 3报。顶礼老和尚， 南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无